students, this is a really quick demonstration, a refreshing of what it takes to get your site up onto the server space. For you, it's PRISM. For faculty like me, it's Spectrum, but it's basically the same process, a slight little difference. But I'm going to show you using this demonstrated site, the Green Barrel, your boutique site. So if you have your site open in Dreamweaver, it should be done and quickly. If I was in live view, which I am, when I mouse over the tab buttons, they should at least give you some kind of hover effect. That's part of the requirement. You need to have a top nav like this that has a logo on the left and a navigation on the right. You should have a larger area in the middle with a background and then a PNG of your logo somewhere in this area. Then the next div, that was the header home. This div is article home. And it's basically going to be a little description or synopsis of what this boutique is about. And the next one, you have 3 rollovers, and we did those in class the last couple days. And then the last, you're going to have a footer, and that's where you have a disclaimer or something like where it says, this is an educational project, no rights or claim for use of images, blah, 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 because we basically swipe the images. Make sure these rollovers, even though they're not really links yet, just link them in your property box to hashtag. And then it will behave like a link, but it's basically linking to the same exact page that we're on. Okay, zooming back out. So once you've got everything ready to go and upload, remember, you could upload your entire site again, especially if you've relinked your landing page to go to project 1 to go to this one, or project 2 to go to this one, project 1 to go to your portfolio page. So I'm going to come back to design view and split view for just a moment. So you might be using a little bit different version of Dreamweaver. I think this is 2017 instead of 19 for some reason, but not that much difference. All right, this is the important part, how to get access to your PRISM account. Remember PRISM, it's prism.troy.edu/ and then your email prefix. For me, it's J Johnson. For you, it might be something else, obviously. So go to Site, which is up at the top, and go to Manage Sites. You should be on the same computer that you uploaded this before, and you should see something like this where it's got your name. And if you're the only one using it, it's probably the only one that exists. If you're doing this from a different computer, you need to kind of back up and reload everything, follow the instructions. But I'm going to go through this again. I'm just going to double click on the site that I'm managing here, Jerry Johnson Spectrum, or in your case, it's just your name probably. And it takes us to this window. This was the setup, if you remember, and the site name is whatever you want it to be called, probably your name, DFI, or something like that. And then you want to link to the root folder. It should be something like this. Your folder should be that last thing that you see, okay? And it should be somewhere. I like to keep it on the desktop, but if you have it somewhere else, just make sure it finds it, okay? And then you have everything plugged in. Then we go to the servers, which we've already done this. We've set it up. Click on Site, then Server. And then on Remote Server, I'm double clicking. And your remote server should be there. FTP is what we're doing, File Transfer Protocol. Mine says Spectrum. Yours should say prism.troy.edu. I'm not going to go into this too much because there might be a slight difference. Like some of you, like mine here says Johnson at Spectrum. Yours is going to say your name at Prism. You can test it, see if it works. Yay, that's what we want. If it's not working for you, first thing to check is make sure you're connected to the internet. If you're at home or if you're at school, the Wi-Fi at school, make sure you're on the Troy Secure System because that's the one that will allow you to do it. All right, we've done all that. Okay, so we're going to save it, save all this, done. Okay, you can rewind this if I'm going a little bit too fast. All right, backing up here. Under Window, which is your top menu up here, go to Window and look for the word Files. Now, when I click it, I already have it open. It's really over here where it says Files, but yours may not be. So just go Window, Files. And then you get this little window, but it's not expanded yet. It's just showing what's on my local server. I want to expand it by clicking on this little button here, Expand, to show both the local that's on the hard drive and then the remote. Okay, and then you should get a window that's kind of split in half and half. So Here's my local file. Yours probably looks like this. It's just been expanded or collapsed, but disregard this where it says folio, boutique, responsive, etc. What this is yours is, this is the landing page right here and the images that go with it. This is something I saved so I can move from computer to computer. I noticed a couple of you have done this too, but if you haven't, it's no big deal. This is a CSS that would have went with my original landing page. Then the folio is your project 1 folder, and what I'm looking at here is this project 2 folder, which is the boutique. I just named them differently last semester. I want to connect, okay? It doesn't matter. We want to connect. So you should see your name up here, remote server, and then you see the little plug right here. Connect to that. And there's my folders that are already existing. What I want to do is I want to upload my boutique folder. In your case, you want to upload project 2 folder. Probably the easiest thing to do, to be honest with you, would be to delete this. So I'm going to right click on it, edit, delete. I want to delete that entire folder. It says, do you really want to? By the way, if you ever double click on these, it downloads them. Don't do that or it's certainly going to confuse you. Overwrite your current files with some older ones. So I want to delete that. And for me, the easiest would be, since I've got this site finished, I'm just going to drag it over here. I'm going to put it in my PRISM/Spectrum folder, drag it over there. And it says, should dependent files be included in transfer? Let's say no, because it takes control of where it goes then. So we just want to say no. And then you can see it do its thing. It's uploading the images, it's uploading the CSS, the index file, everything that you've created inside this folder. And I've got 104 files. You may or may not have that many. You might have it close to that, I don't know. Take just a second. Once that loads up, I'm going to go to my Spectrum site on the internet, actually see if it all shows there. Just want to warn you, don't ever like grab a folder and then stick it inside of one of these other folders. I know when you're on the desktop, sometimes it replaces the folder. It doesn't do that in Dreamweaver in the FTP. It actually just sticks a folder inside of a folder, which then makes all of your links break and not work appropriately. All right. So I've got my new boutique folder here, and I can open it up and see if everything looks like it's there. I know I've got secondary and tertiary. I've got other pages in here. You don't have those yet. Okay, so I'm going to go back to Chrome, and I'm going to look for, nice, put in my URL, spectrum.troy.edu, your case prism.troy.edu / then your email. And sure enough, there it is. There's the green barrel. And have any questions? Feel free to email me. Good luck with getting this uploaded.